Hey guys, and welcome back to another Unreal Engine 4 tutorial. In today's video we're going to be going over widget animations. So I'm going to be going over the basics of these, how to set them up, how to create them, how to use them, all that good stuff. And I'll be going over three main examples in this. So I'll show you how to fade in and out, slide on and off, and also pop in and out as well. So if I hit play, I can show you what these three different ones are going to look like. So firstly I'm going to fade it in and fade it out, working perfectly like so. And now I'm going to slide it on and off as well. So I can slide it on and slide it off, working like this, can go either way. And then I'm also going to pop it in and out. So I'll pop in and pop out like so as well. So again, you can do whatever you like with these. It doesn't have to be these three examples. These are just ones which I've come up with to say, this is just the basics of how we do it. And I think this will work great for you as an example to show you what to do. So this is what we're going to make today. So without further ado, let me delete this code and I'll show you how I've done it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my widget which I have. Now if you don't have one, what you can do is you can right click, go to user interface, get a widget blueprint, and then open it up straight away. And in here I just have some basic stuff, so I have a progress bar and some text. You can have absolutely whatever you like in here and as much or as little as you want. I've just got these in here just as an example to show you what it's going to look like. Again, make sure you have something in here so that you can actually see it. And once you're in here, we want to create our animations. So you can see in the bottom left of my screen, I have an animations tab and a timeline tab. Now, if you don't have these, what you want to do is go to window up at the top and then just hit animations and also hit timeline so they have a tick next to them and then they should appear on your screen like so. And once we've done that, what I'm going to do is hit the plus animation button here and I'm going to name this one fade because I'm going to create the fading animation first. Then I'm going to select the canvas panel so it selects everything. And then I'm going to select the animation, hit the plus track, and then I'm going to get canvas panel. So this will do what we want to the canvas panel, which will then do it to everything in the widget. Then hovering over that timeline, I'm going to hit the track, and then because I'm fading, I'm going to do render opacity. And what I'm going to do is set it to 0, so at the start of our timeline here, the render opacity is 0, so it's not faded in. And then I'm just going to drag this kind of grey section of our timeline over, because that will increase the length of the animation. So I'm just going to drag it to about 0.25 seconds. I think it's a good length for me. Set it up to whatever you like. And I'm going to drag my timer all the way to the end. So now we're at the end of the animation. And then I'm going to set the render opacity to 1. So if you've ever done some video editing or anything like that, or other animations, it's very similar. So we're using keyframes to just transition the opacity to get a fade or whatever you choose. Now if we hit play, what we can see is this is fading in. And then if we drag it backwards, it's fading out. So reversing it. So that way we can have fade in and out on just one animation, which will work perfectly. So that is how we fade in. I'm going to compile and save. And what I'll actually do is I'll set up all three at the start and I'll show you how to play them later. So check the chapters at the bottom of the video to skip ahead to what you want. So I'm going to hit the plus animation again, naming this one slide. So I'll do that one. Selecting slide. Canvas panel still selected, add a track, add the canvas panel, it's very similar to what we just did. Then again, I'm going to add a track on that canvas panel. This time it's going to be the transform, opening up the transform like so, and then opening up the translation, because that is essentially the position on the screen. So again, X and Y is 0 at the very start. I want it to start off screen, so I'm going to move it on the X so it slides from left to right, and I'm going to set it to minus 1920, so it's fully off screen. If you wanted to go from right to left, set it to just 1920, or top to bottom, 1080, bottom to top, minus 1080, all that good stuff. Very simple to do. And then again, I'm going to extend this to be how long I want, which again I'll do 0.25, drag it all the way to the end, and set the X back to 0, so it is now perfectly in the center like so. Again, if we then play it, it's just going to slide on. If we reverse it, it will slide off. Very simple to do. I'm going to do one more, plus animation, naming this one pop, because I want this one to pop in. Selecting that, add a track, canvas panel, add track on that. This one again being the transform. Opening it up, and this time we're going to do the scale instead. So I want the scale to start as 0 on the X and the Y. Extending this out, and I'll go up to 0.15 this time, and then go all the way out. Setting the scale to now 1.5 on the X and the Y. So it's going to go even bigger and then go back. So to pop in, I want it to be really small, really big, and then normal size. So then I'm going to extend the time out even further, now to 0.25, taking that all the way out, and now setting the scales back down to 1, like so. So now it's going to pop in like so, and then pop back out again like that. So I think this is going to be great for me. Those are the 3 different animations which I want to play. So now I'm going to compile, save, and actually play these. So to do that, I'm going to go to the graph up in the top right, and you'll have 3 different nodes here. You can just delete those as we don't need them. However, we do need one of them, which is event construct, like so, which is essentially event begin play for our widget. It's just going to spawn in and fire off this code when the widget is actually constructed, made, created, appeared, spawned in, whatever you want to call it. And so then off of this, what I'm going to do is I'll start off with a fade. So we can drag in our fade animation there, get fade. Out of this, I'm going to play animation like so, connecting that in there. In animation, obviously fade, start at time, I'll keep it 0, everything the same, make sure the play mode is also forward. So now when the widget is spawned in, it's going to fade in. Underneath this, I'm going to get a custom event, so right click and add custom event, naming this one fade out or remove or anything like that. So actually I'll just name it remove. So remove like so. And then I'm going to get the fade animation once again. This time I'm going to change the play mode from forward to reverse. So now it's going to fade out. So we can compile and save that. What I'm also going to do is hold down D, left click to get a delay after this, with the duration as being 0.3. Because the length of the animation is 0.25, so 0.3 is just definitely after it's finished. Completed will be removed from parent. So what it's going to do is it's going to fade in when we make it, fade out when we want to remove it, and once it's finished fading out, it will actually remove it, so it will take it off our screen completely. We won't actually see any difference in that, but it's just a lot more efficient for the code and for the system, for the game to run. So we can compile, save, and essentially you just change these out for whichever one you want. So if you want it to pop in, you just drag pop onto fade, and then here, and now it's going to pop in for it. So it will pop in and pop out like so. So essentially you do this same code, but you just swap the animation for your animation which you want to use. It will work perfectly. I'm obviously just going to start off by showing you the fade. So we compile, save, minimize this, and then go to how we want to spawn this in. So I want to do that on the character blueprint when I press a button. So I'm going to go to content, third person BP, blueprints, third person character, and very simply I'm just going to do this on the one keyboard event. So I'm going to right click and get a one keyboard event like so. Pressed will go into a flip flop, so I can just press this both times to spawn it and destroy it. A will go into create widget, the class obviously being the widget we just made, mine's just named widget, and return value will be add to viewport. And so when it does this, it's going to fire off event construct, so it will fade it in, or whatever you have, it will play that first animation. And off of B, I want to remove it. So I can come out the return value again of that create widget, and just get remove, or whatever that custom event is that you made, connecting that into B, compile, save, and what this will do is it will now spawn in the widget on screen when we press 1, and when we press it again, it will take it off screen. So set this up however you want. This might be, as soon as you spawn in a game, it's just going to fade in, and you don't want it to fade out, or maybe when you take damage, it will fade in, after a certain time, it will fade out, anything along those lines. If you want extra help with anything, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to get back to you. So let's test this out. So if I hit play, press 1, it's going to fade in, press 1 again, it's going to fade out, and that works great. Now let's try sliding in. So what I'm going to do is just drag slide onto fade there, and now let's try that. Hit 1, it's going to slide in and out like so, and let's also try pop like that. Hit play and see if this one pops in and out perfectly like that. So this works perfectly. So I think that'll be it for this video, as we've done everything we want to do. We've set it up so we can create these different widget animations for fading in, sliding in, popping in and out for all of those as well. And obviously I've shown you how to set the animations up so you can customize these to get them perfect for what you want and do whatever you want as well. It doesn't have to be these 3 examples. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, make sure to like and subscribe down below. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.